says I'm live, but we're not seeing. Huh. Let's see. Rumble. Live streams. Home. Ah. Here's my stream. And it is live. 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 Okay, that's weird. Here's my stream. And it is live. Okay, that's weird. Here's my stream. And it is live. It's like a loop. That's kind of neat. All right. Yeah, let's check YouTube. Okay. 3 subscribers. That's terrible. Content. Okay. Let's see. Aha. Let's see. Aha. Let's see. Aha. Let's see. Aha. Cool. All right. All right. So I've been thinking a lot about what I want my channel to be all about. And the more I think about it, the more I think that really the only unique perspective I have is that I never do what everyone else does. Never have, probably never will. You know, when I was growing up, everybody was about hanging out, outside of this place or that place, or going to the mall and hanging with, all sorts of people. I was in my room tinkering with things, figuring things out, trying to do different musical things because I like to play guitar. And then when I got older, everybody was out at the club, Like if I knew a band that was playing, if I like knew somebody was in the band, then I would go. But yeah, as far as just like going to a club, not really my thing. I mean, I did it a few times because you're with other people and they want to go to this place, but never really my thing. And then, everybody was going to college and everybody was going to this school, that school, and learning to do this, that, or the other thing. I signed up for missions trips through my church. and I, and I worked fast food jobs and tire repair places so that I could pay for my missions trips. And then, everybody was doing the dating scene. They were they were talking to this girl and that girl, and they were sleeping around over here, and then next month they were sleeping around over there. This person was a friends with benefits, that was just a situationship, all the different games that people play. I wanted to get married. In fact, before I found my wife, I had proposed to 2 other women who actually sort of backed out when they realized I was serious. Or, had a complete meltdown and threw their whole life away. That happened once. But, I looked at what everybody else was doing, and I noticed that they all seemed kind of miserable, right? Like, there'd be happy moments and, things where they thought, I'm finally going to make it. I'm finally going to feel good. I'll be happy. And, even if they got what they wanted, inevitably it was like, oh, that wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. So I had no desire to run that kind of race. I wanted to do something different. Something equally difficult, if not more difficult. I wanted to have a family. I wanted to get married. When I was out doing my missionary thing, I kind of had this epiphany that I only wanted to serve God, like my whole life. That's what I want to do with my life, whatever form that takes. And one of the things I knew we had been commanded to do, because I read my Bible, was to be fruitful and multiply. And so I felt like I really didn't feel like I was called into any priesthood. I wasn't really associated with a denomination. I went to a non-denominational church at the time. Very, very good church, though. Fantastic church. It actually prepared me really, really well for becoming an Orthodox Christian later in life. I found that through the things that my church had taught me, I was pretty much already living a fairly Orthodox lifestyle. But that's for another stream. But really, I just wanted to get on here and upload a new video, and I will edit this for time, taking out all the ums and uhs and things like that, and post this to the Facebook as well. And I just wanted to sort of formalize what it is that I'm going to be talking about and why I think it's important. And to get to that second part, I think it's important because people are sort of realizing the end result of where doing the normal thing takes you. You know, that's the cat ladies. That's the incels. You know, it's all the things that people come to regret later in life. You know, I think even people that have difficult marriages, and luckily I'm not one of them, but you know, I've seen a few people who have had some difficult times and have stayed together. And even when you're not sure how much you really like the other person, you can still love them. You can. So I think it's a better way to get to contentment, if not happiness. A sense of accomplishment, if not overwhelming joy. All right. Well, that is going to be my stream for today. I want to keep it short. Um, I'm going to have something longer sometime soon. And we're going to talk about how I came to be a Christian, because it kind of is a weird and long story. And it's kind of like, you know, you go into the faith and you kind of, you know, you don't have the right foundation, so you wind up coming back out. And then, you know, you find it again later, and, you know, you finally get a good foundation, you know, with people who really care about you. And yeah, well, we'll talk about that at the next stream, okay? And I hope that somebody sees this video one day, and you get excited to listen to the rest